show Mission Impossible. I'll be watching every night. Thanks.
Happy Bobby in Texas. We received a number of messages about Mission Impossible. One of them from an anonymous caller in Michigan who asked this question.
I wanted to say that I thought the new station was great as far as what you've shown so far. I wanted to know if you make available a listing of Mission Impossible episode titles. Thanks, and keep up the good work.
And thank you for the call, Michigan. Unfortunately, we don't have a list of Mission Impossible titles for you, but for that information, we can recommend an excellent book called The Complete Mission Impossible Dossier. If you're an MI fan, as many of us are around here, then you'll love this book. It's got a complete rundown of every single episode with credits, photos, and loads of trivia. It's everything you ever wanted to know about the Mission Impossible force. And speaking of Mr. Phelps and his intrepid IMF, we received a fax from a Mr. Dave Boone of Norwalk, Connecticut. Dave saw our programming schedule in a New York Post article, and he writes,
I'm glad to see that FX will be airing one of my favorite shows, Mission Impossible. A question, which actor has the distinction of making the most guest appearances on the show? My guess would be a popular character actor named Nehemiah Persoff.
That would be a pretty good guess, Dave. Actually, Russian actor Nehemiah Persoff appeared in 3 Mission Impossible episodes, episodes 5, 72, and 83, for those of you scoring at home. Actor Anthony Zerbe, whom you may remember from the old David Jansen series, Harry O, he appeared in 4 episodes. And the actor who met up with the IM Force more times than any other is John Vernon, none other than Dean Wormer himself from the 1978 hit comedy Animal House, as well as many, many other films, who appeared in a record 5, count them 5, Mission Impossible episodes. Thanks for faxing in, Dave. Another fax came from a Buffalo, New York viewer named David Zinkin. Davis greeted us warmly with these words.
Allow me to be the first to let you know how much I love your network. You're a welcome addition to the usually wonderful world of cable. Happy birthday, FX.
Wow, David likes us. He really likes us. You guys get it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Another very likable fax came through from someone who identifies him or herself as an ardent viewer in New Jersey who had this to say.
Much applause to the team at FX. The concept of live TV appears to be a difficult medium to master, yet it seemed to go rather well. I am looking forward to getting up every morning with FX's breakfast time. The only thing I would recommend altering is the weather segment. Anyone leaving the house at that time of day looks forward to a more detailed and earnest weather update.
Well, for those of you who slept in today and missed the breakfast time weather segment, let's take a look at it right now.
The green part of the country has all those clouds and stuff, and the brown part of the country just has sunshine. So if you want a green lawn, you got to water it. Okay, now let's look at the high temperatures. See, there's a lesson to be learned from this, too. Yesterday, that red area with the 90s was much larger, but overnight we gave massive doses of antibiotics to the country, and it has shrunk considerably.
Those wacky breakfast people. What do you think? Does the weather segment need to be changed? Drop us a line and let us know what you think. Yet another fax came in from a Mr. John Bartlett in Reno, Nevada, who enjoys our FX favorite television shows. John told us,
I think you are going to get younger viewers like me, 22, and I'm not really into Heart to Heart and Dynasty. Fantasy Island is great. Greatest American Hero is good also.
There you have it. According to John's one-man opinion poll, Fantasy Island and Greatest American Hero apparently rate very high with Generation X. Thanks for the fax, John. Another of FX's favorite shows that seems to be popular with viewers is Family Affair. Well, the other day we received a memo from one of our affiliates in Waltham, Massachusetts, who had been asked this trivia question.
What is Mr. French's first name?
Okay, we can handle a little bit of trivia. We put our team of Backchat researchers on the job, and they came up with the answer in about 5 minutes. We won't keep you in suspense any longer. Mr. French's full name is Giles French. Very high-class handle for a very high-class guy. Isn't it weird, though, that Mr. French is English? I always thought that was strange. For you fans of Family Affair, you can catch Mr. French, Buffy, Mrs. Beasley, Jody, Catherine, and Uncle Beale every afternoon here on FX. If you have any trivia questions about any of our shows, please write in and put us to the test. Our address is Backchat, and you don't have to spell it funny like that either. P.O. Box 837, Madison Square Station, New York, New York, 10159-0837. And coming up, we'll find out what the New York Times had to say about the FX apartment. Don't go away.
I'm getting something!
You could be on the air.
More!
Fox FX and
and tell us about your collection.
Nancy,
Talk to us. We're live.
alive! Alive!
We got a fax here from a Frank N. Stein, who says he's got the world's largest collection of live brains. Anyone want to trade?
Trade for those fuzzy-headed trolls.
FX is the world's first living television network.
Hello, I'm Steve Walker, and welcome back to Backchat, the show that responds to the questions and comments of you, the FX viewer. This is only our second night on the air, and we don't have a lot of mail yet, so if you feel like calling or writing us, please call us or write us. We want to hear from you. Right now, let's take a look at a letter we received recently from Nancy Levine of San Jose, California. Nancy wants to know,
How did the network decide on the name FX? It's kind of confusing in that it makes you think of a science fiction network.
very good question, Nancy. And for an answer, we're going straight to the top. We asked FX Chairman and Chief Executive Officer Ann Sweeney to explain how we became known as FX. Here's what Ann had to say.
In terms of naming the channel, it was strategic to be perceived as part of the Fox family. It is equally important that our audience not confuse the cable network with the Fox Broadcasting Company. Thus, the letters F and X obviously relate to Fox. A two-letter name is memorable, and in design applications, shorter means bigger.
Well, there you have it, Nancy. We think FX sounds kind of cool, by the way. But if you have another opinion, that's what we're here for. Just grab a pen or a typewriter and tell us all about it. We know they're watching in California because we received a voicemail from another viewer in the Golden State who said,
Hi, my name is Tanya from California. I'd like to say thanks for bringing Home and Away to television. I'm an Australian, and I've been here for 4 years, and I've been waiting forever to see an Australian show. So thanks, guys. Keep up the good work.
Thanks for the feedback, Tanya, and we'll do just that. With our voicemail messages, we received a big response to our FX favorite programs. Here's one of those messages from a viewer who unfortunately didn't tell us where he was calling from and didn't give his name.
Hi, 2 comments. I enjoyed showing my kid Batman today, back when Batman wasn't so violent, and he really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to him watching that every day, and I enjoyed Mission Impossible. As far as any requests, just do what it takes to keep Mission Impossible and Batman on.
Thanks for your comments, Viewer X. We're glad that you enjoyed Batman and Mission Impossible. And as far as your son goes, we are especially proud of the fact that FX will be able to turn on a whole new generation onto the camp classics of the 1960s. You know, if you would like to leave us a voicemail message or send us a fax, don't be shy. Just pick up the phone, put on a funny costume, and call us at this number, 212-802-4102. Please remember to mention your name and hometown, and our fax number is 212-802-4205. Or you can write us the old-fashioned way. Here's the address, Backchat, P.O. Box 837, Madison Square Station, New York, New York, 10159. Tell us what you like or dislike about our programming. Let us know what you want to see on FX. And if you'd like to see yourself on FX, you can even send a videotape in. In short, we want to hear from you, so please drop us a line. You know, whenever you start up a new TV show, or in the case of FX, a whole new channel, you want to find out what average television viewers are thinking about. And one of the best ways to do that is by bringing together a sampling of television viewers called a focus group. Now, recently, FX put together several focus groups in different cities all across the country to get an idea of what people were thinking. One focus group member in San Francisco said,
I'd like to see a cable channel that would teach a language. I would love to learn a language.
That's such a great idea. Unfortunately, we don't offer foreign language instruction here at FX, but our resident French expert, Mima Spudola, who works on Breakfast Time, tells us that the French phrase for backchat would be contre-papotage. Are you guys impressed? Which roughly translated means we chit-chat back at you. So if someone in Paris asks you what your favorite television show is, you can impress them by coming back with contre-papotage or Le Seinfeld, whichever the case may be, okay? In our Baltimore, Maryland focus group, when we described how the FX show Breakfast Time would broadcast live remotes from 2 different cities each week, we received a doubtful reaction. One person saying,
I don't find the concept of vans going around the country very interesting. It doesn't really appeal to me.
I should stress that that comment was made by someone who had not yet seen Breakfast Time, so they really had no way of knowing just how well the concept of remote crews touring the country would work. But don't take my word for it. Take a look at a clip from this morning's Breakfast Time. Live from Tulsa, Oklahoma, our reporter John Davis paid a visit to the Will Rogers homestead and was given a tour by Will's son, Jim Rogers.
Now, one thing, Lori, I want you to see an important necessity in a log cabin back in those days.
Yeah.
There it is. The bathroom.
Oh.
This is
The chamber pot.
That's right. This is so you didn't have to get up in the middle of the night and go to the bathroom, right?
That's right.
Now, when you grew up, you had one of these.
That's right. My mama had one right by my bed, and when I went off to the Army, I wrote to her and told her how much I missed the pot. She said, Joe, you missed it when you was at home.
Okay, boys, remember this is a family show. Today's edition of the New York Times contained an article about the FX apartment set, this beautiful set we have here, which we gave you a tour of on yesterday's show. And we quote,
"I can't think of anyone who's gone to this level of extravagance," said Dr. J. Fred McDonald, a TV and radio historian at Northeastern Illinois University.
And referring to FX's 6,500 square foot 5-room apartment, the article goes on to say,
"Only FX has ever built a full-blown 4-walled apartment for news and talk."
But what if FX doesn't succeed, the article asks.
"Then," said Dr. McDonald, "the apartment set may end up as an unused parody of late 20th century domestic life, a metaphor for the devouring of the American home by television."
Whoa, pretty heavy, Doc. But we'd like to assure you that no, we have no intention of becoming a metaphor, and we plan on being around long enough to be labeled a parody of the 21st century life. In any event, we want to thank our rather analytical friends at the New York Times for the plug. When is the exam? That's what I want to know. Coming up next on Contrapapotage, we'll reveal why greatest American hero Ralph Hinckley was forced to undergo a name change. Stay with us.
I'm Jane Wallace. Join me as we cut through the clutter to examine one
It's a show I've always gotten a kick out of, The Greatest American Hero. But can anyone tell me why the producers changed the lead character's name from Ralph Hinckley to Ralph Hanley during the second season?
Well, Humphrey, we're very glad you asked, because it gives us the opportunity to reveal one of the more fun and interesting bits of trivia about that particular show. The producers did indeed change the name of the hero from Ralph Hinckley to Ralph Hanley during the show's run, and that was due to the attempt on the life of former President Ronald Reagan by would-be assassin John Hinckley. Boy, there is no getting anything by our crack research staff. Thanks for the facts, Humphrey. Just this afternoon, this just in, we received a fax from Troy Strand of Chicago, Illinois. Troy watched Backchat very carefully last night and proves it with this message.
Just an observation. While watching Backchat last night, I noticed your logo on the bottom right-hand side of my TV screen is opposite that of the printed logo in your outdoor ads. Specifically, the box ends are on opposite sides. Just thought you might like to know.
To help us understand what he was getting at, Troy kindly included this illustration. You cannot accuse Troy of not... No idea. They just are. From the FX Lost and Found department, we received an inter-office memo from Rick Hurwitz, an associate producer of our Breakfast Time show. It reads,
Tuesday, May 17th, 9:55 a.m. To all FX employees, if anyone has seen 2 Nico miniaturized remote control cars, please call extension 4024. They were last seen on Friday.
So did Rick find his toy cars? We can very easily answer that question with a look at this clip from one of the Breakfast Time dress rehearsals last week.
For some reason, it is not working. There we go. Just gotta give it a little kick. Excuse me, sir. Look at that. Oh, I have it. Let's go back to that woman if we can. Can you bring it back to her? Oh, wait. There we go. We get this woman coming down the street.
We'll Spencer over and let's do a breathalyzer, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll play chicken.
Look at this thing. Oh, my God.
Sorry, ma'am.
My God.
I guess Dylan backed out of that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, baby, want to ride?
We should have led with this toy.
If you want to see more of that crazy fun, tune in weekdays at 7 o'clock in the morning. You know, every week I look forward to my favorite inter-office memo from Beth Burke. She is an associate producer on Breakfast Time. She's also the coach and catcher for the FX softball team, as well as the official reporter. Now, the name of the team is the F-Executioners, and here's the most recent report filed by Beth.
The F-Executioners remain undefeated. We won last night 18-3, securing our first-place position in the league. Of course, we couldn't do it without our talented FX cameramen. Danny, Mike, Rich, and our pitcher, Lincoln. The next game is on Monday, so try to come on out. Remember, if you can't be an athlete, you can be an athletic supporter.
That's what I always say. You know, when Beth writes about softball, you can almost smell the peanuts and Cracker Jacks, can't you? As I mentioned before, I'm the host of the Pet Department. That's weekdays at 2:30 on FX. Every weekday afternoon, we'll feature stories of amazing pets and their owners, tips on pet care, really anything you can think of that has to do with pets. Now, recently, we took our camera crew out onto the street to talk with people about their pets, and we asked them, what celebrity does your pet look like?
Irvin Magic Johnson. He doesn't play basketball that well, though. The cat.
Zsa Zsa Gabor. She's feisty and she's sort of spoiled.
Mr. Magoo.
He does look like a person. I don't look at him as a dog.
Actually, she reminds me of the Little Rascals. I don't know if you ever watched Little Rascals, Petey.
The Little Rascals dog.
A lot of people call him Petey.
I think he looks like Paul Newman.
Can you say delusional? When we return, Backchat will reveal the shocking truth about Robert Wagner's hair. Stay with us. Can you get the spot more over here? Thanks. Oh, hi. I'm Steve Walker. Welcome to Backchat. That's Rachel. She's one of the PAs. Doesn't she do a nice job? We're the show that's actually written by FX viewers because every night we respond to your comments and questions about FX. And just in case you didn't get all the vital information before, here it is. You got a pen and paper? Got your PC all ready? Here it is. Backchat, P.O. Box 837, Madison Square Station, New York, New York, 10159. If you would like to send us a fax, here's that number, 212-802-4205. And if you'd like to call, go ahead. We man the phones 24 hours a day with our voicemail. And the number is 212-802-4102. You know, since we haven't really received much mail yet, we're following up some FX interoffice memos. A few weeks ago, Mima Spadola, an associate producer on Breakfast Time, sent around a memo with this inquiry.
I saw a car with a license plate FX212. I tried to catch a glimpse of the mysterious driver, but he or she left me in the dust. Now, is one of us so dedicated to FX that we would personalize our car in such a fashion, or is this just a bizarre coincidence?
Now, since our address is 212 Fifth Avenue, a license plate reading FX212 really is a coincidence. So we checked in with Mima to find out just what she's willing to offer to solve the mystery of who owns the FX license plate.
If you call in now and satisfy my deepest desire to know the answer to this, you will get this t-shirt. So please help. Call now.
Operators are standing by. So here's the offer. The t-shirt is yours if the car is yours. So if you have the license plate reading FX212, take a snapshot or a videotape of the license and send it to this address. It's the same as our mailing address. Backchat, P.O. Box 837, Madison Square Station, New York, New York, 10159. You get extra points if you do Backchat with the backwards K like that. If the t-shirt is yours, or the t-shirt is yours, if you can prove the license plate is yours. Mr. Michael Romer of New York City very kindly faxed us this question.
Regarding Heart to Heart, how does Mr. H keep his hair in place during all those high-speed chases? Even with gel in my hair, it could not withstand that kind of G-force.
That is a terrific question, Michael, and we were determined to find an answer for you. So we contacted Hollywood hair and makeup supervisor Donna Turner Culver. She was the stylist on the Heart to Heart series back in the early 80s. And she let us in on a little secret. Heart to Heart star Robert Wagner has very manageable hair, and it actually stayed stationary all by itself. Although Donna did admit that occasionally she would help out by giving Robert a little spritz of, write this down, Sebastian brand hair shaper. Just no open flames around that stuff. But Donna wants to be sure to add, Mr. Wagner has really nice hair that's a pleasure to work on. So there you have it, Michael. I guess things like super manageable hair are what separates big-time movie stars from the rest of us mere mortals. Now it's time for a feature we like to call Short Shots, in which we try to answer as many viewers' questions as we can fit into 45 seconds. Go!
Will you be featuring any exotic animals on the pet department?
You bet. Snakes, lizards, piranha fish, basically anything that you might make a pet out of. And some you wouldn't want to make a pet out of. So keep watching the pet department and you'll see for yourself.
Is FX planning any children's programs in the near future?
Not at the moment, but we do have Captain Kangaroo guesting on Breakfast Time occasionally, not to mention our own Bob the Puppet.
Will the network be featuring guest appearances by some of the stars of your classic shows?
Ah, very good question. Guess you'll have to keep watching and find out what we have in store. Well, as we mentioned before, yesterday was our official launch and our first day on the air, and the folks in our LA office decided to kick off the launch with a little publicity stunt to promote the network as well as one of the favorite FX programs, Dynasty. How? Well, by hiring a team of skydivers to dress up as Dynasty villainess Alexis Carrington, and, well, take a look.
I think they're very, very brave. I wouldn't do it. Probably one of the few things that Alexis wouldn't do. I'm not keen on jumping out of airplanes from sort of 2,000 feet.
You know, the amazing thing, some of those guys actually look better than she did. It's really amazing. You know what? We're almost out of time here for Backchat, but I'm Steve Walker, and I want to thank you for sending in all kinds of letters and faxes. We got our first voicemails. That was very, very exciting, so keep them coming, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Take care.
This concludes FX's Programming Day. FX
And, well, what they did was they would make these tapes, they would record the conversations, give them out to their friends, and these tapes just started floating around everywhere.
Generation
Oh,
tape.
so this is how they caught sort of around the country?
Yeah, I can't wait till I have it on CD. I mean, a digital sound.
Yep. Exactly. The sound on the tapes is a little strange, but now it's on
actually have
CD.
a clip we can
and
show
we
of
have
this?
a clip of, yes.
Oh, cool.
Of the Jerky Boys. So why don't we take a look at this clip? It's the Jerky Boys.
One moment, please. Andy, may I help you?
Yeah, let me speak to Brett Weir.
Who's calling?
Is he in?
Yeah, who's calling?
Look, Jerky, I don't need to talk to you.
You don't need to talk to me?
Get Brett Weir, I said.
Hold on. He's upstairs repairing something. You want me to call you back?
Well, this is the super across the way.
Yeah.
And he was supposed to take care of some business for me, and I'm very angry at that little jerk. All right, now I'm going to break his head.
Oh, what do you want me to do? Get in touch with you where?
He knows what the I'm talking about. And don't have me come down after you either, tough guy. You tell him to see me.
Super across the street?
You got it, punk.
Okay, I'll tell him.
Uncle Freddie.
Yeah. Oh, and there it is, ladies and gentlemen, the Jerky Boys with the super across the way. And you can listen to that on the CD. They also have a CD coming out. If you're into that, they have a CD coming out in August, the Jerky Boys 2. And also, someone gave them $5 million to make a movie, which will be out at the end of the year.
Whoa.
There it is.
So there's Matt with some new and interesting, somewhat bizarre stuff out there.
Section? I never run into you in the record store. Now I know why. Where do you go?
He's in the bargain bin. He's in the bargain bin of the store. After the break, we are going to have Andy Bell's Erasure here with us. And also, if you have forgotten Smash or Trash, you can...